how many prototypes did you make of the 800 series before you were like, this is it?
Of the functional aspect?
Yeah, I guess so.
Of the functional aspect, one.
One?
Mm-hmm. Of the cosmetic attributes, the things that I really wanted to refine,
yeah.
A lot more.
Like what attributes, for example?
Let's say for as far as the cosmetic, I like to start at the ground with a project and go, okay, let's get rid of everything and then slowly build what I think it should be. And then you let certain things, like in the case of our 800 series, well, that's got a long tradition of being a light bound guitar. It's a rosewood, natural finished rosewood with a Sitka spruce top. Okay, great, I'm gonna celebrate that wood pairing, but it's also gonna be a light bound guitar. Well, before I got to that
by that he means it started with white plastic.
It started with white plastic.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the binding was always a real strong contrast.
Good pop.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I started with ebony binding. I thought, well, let me build something like that because that would look really cool, very elegant, real modern. So I built probably 10 different versions that are all ever so slightly subtle twists on this, changing this detail, you know, a few thousandths of an inch here, this or that. And we sit around and go, yeah, it's got this, the 800 series has this heritage of being bound with some sort of light color material, whether it was wood or plastic or whatever. We go, okay, I'm gonna honor that. That's a tradition that we should keep. So to that end, I'm going to pick a really specific type and figure of maple because I like wood bound guitars, but I want it to have this strong contrast. And so I built probably 10 or 15 guitars with slightly different cosmetic versions before I went all the way back and went, okay, it's going to be a white bound guitar. It's like recording a great piece of music where you go, you play it and you think, wow, that was a really good take. Now I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'm going to listen to it again because, ooh, it sounded like, did I inhale right there?
Yeah.
Oh, yep, there was a little sound right there. Ooh, I should fix that. Yeah. Or maybe I should do another take. Maybe the feel wasn't quite right after I lived with it for a little while.
Right.
It's not unlike that.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of technical aspects of that guitar too because, you know, Andy said, well, I mean, I'd like to use protein glues, you know, on the bracing and then he even did tests, you know, where we use electronic sound transfer meters to prove the fact that glues like we normally use, you know, modern woodworking glues kind of stop sound.
Yeah.
And the old style protein glues made from animal hides or fish, you know, this type of stuff. Even some of the glues made from milk, the paint from milk, those things that are based on protein, they don't stop sound at all. It's just like sound just goes through it.
Right.
Or making the finish really thin. You know, so what's really neat for me and for Andy is he can conceive of something and by gosh, we can figure out how to make it here. And we've got a really can-do group of people
cool.
that'll be like, you want that finish half as thick? Okay, we'll work on it. You know, that's an impossible thing, which means it'll take a little longer.
Right.
You know.
Was there anything that you wish the guitar could have that maybe wasn't feasible in a mass production sort of capacity, or?
Not really, because one of the things that was very important to me was I want to make sure that this is a guitar we can produce and actually put into the hands of a musician. So for me, let's say if I was going to build one ultimate guitar, I might French polish it. Okay, well that finish is going to end up about 3 mils or 3/1000ths of an inch thick. But it's not going to be anywhere within the realm of doable because of the amount of time it takes, or affordable for anybody who's going to play it. So I was really pleased with the way these guitars came out because went, okay, well, let's say with this finish, I want it to be half the thickness of a very thin finish. I want it to be about 3/1000ths of an inch thick.
Right.
Well, with the modern materials and with our ability to manufacture something, we're able to achieve that. So there was a series of all these little, real minute refinements that we wanted to incorporate into this and be able to do them on a consistent basis and put them into the hands of musicians where we're actually going to get good music.
So that was in your mind from the beginning?
Absolutely.
Knowing that
Yeah.
wanted to make it accessible. And that.
Yeah, I wanted these to be instruments for musicians to play and make great music. Because that's what guitar making is about. You could build the one thing and then put it in a glass case and no one ever gets to touch it. Well, that guitar isn't going to sound very good unless somebody's playing.
Right.
The best sounding instrument is the one that's getting played.